वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Eastern religions, we believe in reincarnation. The greatest argument given behind by the people of those religions who do not believe in reincarnation. All the Semitic religions do not believe, though the references could be there in their respective scriptures. But the interpretation is not as we do the interpretation of reincarnation. First and foremost is told that if we had many births earlier, then why none of us or most of us do not remember? If we don't remember, there is no reason to say that there is rebirth or there is previous births. But as we discussed earlier, we do not remember everything even of this life. Most of us do not remember any incident of our life before we were 2 years, 3 years, 4 years old. This is a very good exercise you can do. Sit silently as you sit for meditation and try to remember the earliest remembrance of your life. You can go by the places you stayed, or you can go by your schooling. Oh, I remember my primary 5, primary 4 years, primary 3 years. Then you will find slowly, you go to primary 2, you have very few things to remember. Primary 1, very few things to remember. It may be little more in the present day because children's life has become more eventful. You know, children who come and study here, they have so many activities. I don't think we had that many activities. Maybe they may have more interactions, so there are many chances to remember something. But anyway, we don't remember before 2 to 3 years of our age. It doesn't mean we didn't exist. You do not remember today is 28, so 22nd, what did the food you took on in lunch? You don't remember. That doesn't mean on 22nd you didn't take lunch. So memory cannot be the reason. There are some incidents, coincidence sometimes, where people have remembered their past lives, and every country there are such incidents, though very rare comparing the population. There are many. I can keep on mentioning how many incidents are there. But why do we have so many births? Or even if you don't believe in so many births, why do we have this birth itself? You know, there is a small group of children at present nowadays. They have these philosophical questions which they put like an agnostic person or without any religious belief. Why I exist? What's the purpose of my existence? Many small children ask these questions. I don't like to study. I don't like to do this, do that. Why should I be? Why I am here in the first place? Why nobody asks me whether I like to exist like this or not? then this answer has to come from somewhere. Sociology doesn't have answer, psychology answer in their way. Philosophy is the only subject which can attempt to answer these questions. Why do I exist? As we discussed quite a few times, that your existence as an individual person is your one kind of existence. But just a feeling that I exist, I am, which is a continuous existence. Whatever your memory is, whatever you remember about yourself, whether in a waking state, whether while seeing the dream or in deep sleep or whichever condition, you may not remember about the external world because you were sleeping, you were in deep sleep. But about your own existence, it is never non-existent. Do you have any memory where, I think in 1998 to 99 I did not exist. Your existence is a continuous experience, irrespective of your state of mind. Whether you are in a waking or a dream or a deep sleep, your existence continues. Why we came into existence? In one place Swami Vivekananda says that is, this question cannot be asked. Why? Can a hypnotized person ask a question that how I got hypnotized? Do a mad person ask a question when I became mad? No. Can you ask a question in your sleep? How I came to deep sleep? No. So it is not the question. It is our realizing with conviction, and that experience is common to all of us. That consistent, continuous, uninterrupted, constant existence of mind. I exist. Okay? For a while, you imagine that you do not exist. You won't be able to imagine. Why? Who imagines? He has to exist or she has to exist. So idea is this, that our individuality, question is not our existence that I am, but I am an individual. You are another individual. He is another individual. She is another individual. There are so many individualities which we see. What is the logic of that? Actually, so many people do not exist. I only exist. The remaining are my object of perception. For you, you exist. The rest of the world is your object of perception. You perceive. You may not perceive. In your objective world, people die, people go. Your existence is to be realized, irrespective of what else exists. So why do we come to an individual existence? How the Supreme Brahman, how Atman, which is ever free from birth and death, came to this condition where there is constant fear of death, where there is no remembrance of birth, but a fear of death. why this existence come into picture? So scripture says, you are not realizing yourself as Atman. This realization is there with you, but you are not aware of it. That's why you will find there are some people who in a way did not do any austerities and tapasya and sadhanas and all that, but they seem to have realized. And in every place we are all born with certain realizations or understandings. Understanding about yourself, understanding about the world. Many of us cannot sing or play instruments. Then how a 2-year-old who has never came in contact with that instrument, he or she cannot even reach the keyboard. They are so tiny and small children. But they play the piano like a professional. People have no answer. So they gave a name prodigy. Prodigy doesn't explain why this child knows so many things. So here scriptures will say, you are not knowing yourself as Atman. And that is why this embodied, you are identified with this body and you are born. Because you are ignorant, this world is real to us. And when it is real to us, we are either attracted to the objects of the world or we have aversion for some certain objects. Because of not knowing ourselves, we do not have constant bliss, which all of us unknowingly want it. And that is reflected in our behavior. You ate something which you liked very much, so we'll try to go and eat again because you liked it. You went to one restaurant, the food you did not like, you do not go again. So there is a dearth in us that I want to be happy, and this also is common. Nobody in the world says, last so many days I have not wept. Last so many months I didn't got injured. And I am so unlucky that my bone is not broken throughout my life. No, nobody is asking for this kind of miseries. But all of us, without exception, whether you are human being or animal or bird or insect, everybody wants to have bliss. And if you see, analyze your activities, analyze your tendencies, is all turning towards only one, that you want to be happy. My favorite example is there, whenever I say I also laugh, people also laugh. Everything we do for happiness. Diametrically opposite things we do for happiness. Just for the sake of fun or joke, but it is true. People marry to get happy, people take divorce to be happy. A person who wants to commit suicide also commits suicide to be happy. Eventually, whatever we do, the only goal seems to be, I want to be happy. You want to eat food because you want to be happy. You want to eat simple food. I am a very simple person. I don't eat, simple food is okay for me. That too you take to be happy, to be free from that something called hunger. You want to be free from any kind of discomfort, any kind of unhappiness, miseries. We all want to be happy. And that is our fundamental tendency. There are two tendencies which are easy to understand. The third one is little difficult. None of us want to die. Whatever you want to, suffering you undergo, you are ready to spend any money, you are ready to do anything so that, oh doctor, somehow save me, I don't want to die. And I remember one devotee, she told me, Swamiji, my father is almost in his 80s. He just keeps crying. No, I am so old, but I don't want to die. He also has the knowledge that one day he has to die, as we all know. You will find different kinds of reaction or different kinds of attitudes and feeling towards this world pertaining to this aspect, that I do not want to die. Why you do not want to die? Because in reality you don't die. What you call death is only changing this old garment which is worn out, too old to maintain. But you come back again with a fresh, new, and that will last again for few years. But this tendency to be existent, I want to exist, I do not want to die. Sometimes there are so many psychological facts are there in our life. Good if you don't undergo that. Some people undergo that. They have a similar dream. Regularly they see the dream. For any reason, we do not know why. That is a different topic. And always feel that somebody is chasing or somebody is coming to kill me, or sometimes tiger is behind you, or sometimes dog is behind you, or sometimes person comes behind you with a weapon, this and that. So much so, I remember one person telling to me, I am afraid to go to sleep. I want to sleep, but I am so afraid that I will see that dream again. It is almost like going to a place which is very dangerous place. Then we have our normal, what you will tell, I also will tell the same thing. So they take the picture of God and just hold on to picture and try to sleep. There's so many psychological ways to train your mind, or rather guide your mind. With your finger, write the name of God on your pillow and then put your head on your pillow, thinking that your head is in the lap of God. Different ways of counseling, training your mind. So we're not knowing ourselves. The first reaction to that is, I want to be happy. To be happy, I have to exist. So no one else wants to die. Then we want happiness. Everything we do is to be happy. Whatever we do is to be happy. We apparently undertake austerities, physical, mental pain sometimes. That also to be more happy. You said today I am fasting, you don't eat, you are hungry but still you don't eat. But the goal is to be happy. Eventually I want to be strong, eventually I want to be spiritual, this and that. So the goal is always these two, I want to exist and I want to be happy. And the third is little difficult, is I want to know who am I. I want to know the truth. Even what you want to know objectively also is part of this. But I want to know. Suddenly a boy came to know that till now whom he considered his parents are not his real parents. He is adopted. So again, a new thirst came in his mind. As soon as this news came, then who are my parents? So this continuous wish to know, everything to know. You keep on browsing, unknowingly maybe, is either you want to be happy or you want to know. Every day practically I get one or two people coming and talking to me, which eventually is based in digital addiction. 10, 11, 12 years old boy or a girl cannot live without that phone. That's a different topic. But in that tendency also, either she wants to know or she wants to be happy. The funny word is that which you call that it is meant for you as a human being, not necessary. Even your pet dogs and cats also becomes habituated if you continuously show them the TV. I don't know whether this topic is new to you. There are some cartoons, the dog likes and dog will be sitting in front of TV till the whole cartoon film is over. These are true facts I am telling, not my imagination. Small iPad kind of notepad, there are some games are there where one by one some insect will be moving and the animals play with it on the iPad or notepad. You touch with finger, they touch with tongue and kill that insect. Why I am telling this? Eventually all the living beings, whomsoever you are, you can do experiments wherever easily you can do. I have done myself some experiments to know. I have not seen it here, fortunately. In India, you see such a big size of ant, big ant. What do you call it? Generally is ant, but there is a bigger one. And you can see the fins by which they bite. It's quite big, you can see it. I went closer to that big ant with a piece of cloth or like a little thick string. Went closer, so the ant felt that I want to kill, because that also is a living being who wants to exist, doesn't want to die. So it got out of that cloth with the two, whatever you call it. Then I pulled the cloth. It's not living. how far it wants to hold on to that which is a enemy who has attacked the ant. Till his two, what you call it, claws came out from the body, but cannot give freedom to that enemy which has come to kill me. Just to understand how it happens, Swamiji says this example. Let it be the smallest insect. The tendency that I want to exist, that I do not want to die, is as equally present as it is present in us. We can express because we belong to the same species. They also must be talking in their own way. This happens by this basic three tendencies. I want to exist, I want to be happy, and I want to know. These three things: existence, bliss, and knowledge. These three tendencies put together is called Sat Chit Ananda. When say, in scripture says your real nature is that you are Satchidananda. God, one name is Satchidananda. If you take a fish out of water, what it will do? It will try its best to go back to the water. Why? It wants to exist, doesn't want to die, but cannot live without water. So water is the life for the fish. So it wants to go back to water. In the same way, we continuously are trying to go back to that water which is our life. I want to know, I want to be happy, I want to exist. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are traveling towards that till you become Satchidananda, you will experience that you are Satchidananda. Knowingly or unknowingly. Even an atheist is doing the same. A believer is doing the same. A Christian doing the same, a Muslim doing the same, a Hindu is doing the same. That's why Hinduism is not a religion. Many times you will find this kind of expression. Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. But it is that more in a social side or social level it is told. But in reality this is this. Hinduism is not a religion, Hinduism is a philosophy. And this is the philosophy. If any time a question comes and people ask you, what is the essence of your religion? Mostly we say, no, I don't know, we go to temple, we do this. These are all external things, doesn't matter. If you need to answer, this is the answer. That we are that, what you give the name, which is always present, which is always in form of bliss and knowledge. And that is me, and that is you also. And you see, unknowingly you are going to do the same thing. You are trying to achieve the same thing. And it is reflected in your life. Everybody, equally. Do you think these tendencies are only in Hindus? I want to exist, I want to know, I want to be happy. No. It is with everyone. There are certain aspects, nothing to be unnecessarily be egoistic about it, and we have no right to do that. Today somebody sent me a link, maybe I will forward to those who are in my group. 7 oldest religions in the world. Of course, Hinduism is the first. 2 to 1500 BC. This religion existed. No prevalent religion existed at that time. That's why you have a prayer, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Let everybody be happy. Why? Let only Hindus be happy. Let only Indians be happy. Let only Singaporeans be happy. Why prayer is not of that time? But this prayer is only in Hinduism. Tell me another religion where everybody is given the same status. Ask the people of any Semitic group whether Hindus after death will go to heaven or not. Impossible. How can Hindu go to heaven? There is no way. But you ask a Hindu, it doesn't matter which religion you belong to. If you have this purity, you will realize the truth. Heaven and hell is a going and coming back. There is nothing permanent there. But realizing Atman is constant. I remember I have seen a video in one of the churches in America where the lady nun, she says in the church itself, her own church, that the members may not like to hear what I am going to say, but in all of us there is a small part of Hinduism exists. It's not Hinduism as such, this philosophy and principles, that you are divine. How you are divine? Because these three tendencies are being seen in you, and you will continuously doing that till you really become Satchidananda, till you realize that you are that. But we are ignorant about it at this point of time. So you are putting your hands everywhere. Maybe by visiting Switzerland I will be happy. So you do everything to go to Switzerland and see it. You are happy. If you really feel happy, you want to go again. But if you are a sadhaka, if you are spiritual aspirant, you will think, yeah, I was happy, but that's not a permanent happiness. Then you put your hand somewhere else. Maybe by staying in Taj Hotel one night I will be happy. Then you say, after sleeping, doesn't matter whether you are in Taj or whether you are in small hotel. Once you are in deep sleep, it doesn't matter. So we always try, wherever you find there is happiness, you do it. In your field, your social, in a responsible way, whichever way, sometimes people forget who they are and what they are. So they try to be happy in unauthorized way. So socially they get into trouble. But even that person who the society will tell he is immoral has broken this social law, but he is doing the same thing that he wants to be happy or she wants to be happy. Whatever we do, even people commit crime to be happy. Apparently this doesn't seem to be true, but eventually you want to be happy. A small boy was caught stealing a chocolate or something, so cameras are there. Shoplifting case, handed over to police. So police advised him, hey, this is not good, this is not correct. You are small, so we are not punishing you, otherwise you will be somewhere this and that. Boy came to us, good boy. Now he is doing very well, actually speaking. His English is much better than mine. When he was here in primary 6, he finished all the 7 volumes of Harry Potter. Such a bright boy. Now he is doing very well outside. He must be maybe 30 years old or 32 years old. So I asked him, You are staying here. How many chocolates you want to eat, I will give. Why you need to steal? So he's trying to find a vocabulary in his big vocabulary. So he smiled at me and told, first of all, I did not know that this is called stealing and this is an offense. I said, but you are not small. You are big enough to understand you have to pay. Yalla, I know how to pay. But I just wanted to take, so I took it. Then I understood it is wrong. Will you do it again? No, I will not do. Well, I have understood. But that mistake also he did to be happy. Any one of us like to take medicine? Anybody is fond of taking medicine? No. We take bitter medicine also to be happy, thinking that this medicine will cure me. Whatever you do is for happiness. You are ready to surrender to the doctor, to get anesthesia, to get all kind of cuts and stitches, to be happy. Eventually you want to be happy. These three tendencies, which are seen universally in every living being, there has to be some reason, no? That every human being, every bird, every animal, every insect has these tendencies. Everybody who exists has this tendency. Swami Vivekananda gives one example. An ant was walking on a railway track and could understand that the track is shaking, some sound is coming. Before the train approached, the ant jumped down, Swamiji says. Ant doesn't have a concept of a train. Ant doesn't know that it is on the railway track. But he knows only one thing, that I do not want to die. That consciousness is there in every living being, start from ant to anybody else. So this tendency is there in us, and that itself is reflected in our actions. When you want to know, you want to be happy, you want to survive, you want to remain existent, the external or the objective way is called either materialistic or an extrovert effort of becoming happy. A time comes, if you are a sincere seeker of these three, then slowly your tendency for the objective enjoyment reduces. And you try to find whether these tendencies are my tendencies, so let me look inside. Then the meditation starts. We have some slokas in the Upanishads. There is a very nice shloka. Pariksha lokan karmachitan. Pariksha, by examining lokan, the world. Which kind of world? Karmachitan lokan. The world is nothing but the fruit of your actions. You do action to get something from this world. You can't get anything from this world without doing action. Physical, mental, intellectual, whichever way you want to do it, you have to do action. The whole world, all in the objective world, give and take is a philosophy. Give and take is a principle. You can't take anything without giving. He took a chocolate from the shop without giving money, became an offense. If you keep on taking from the society without giving to the society, you are accumulating offenses. We call it accumulating sins. So you need to give back, whichever way, by doing a job, by doing whichever thing you want to do. But giving back, and because you take from the society, you give back to the society. So, even if you do it which society says illegal or immoral, philosophically you are doing the same thing. I want to be happy. Maybe my means was not legal or moral. But what you want to do legally and morally, I am also doing the same thing, unknowingly, immoral or illegal. But the goal of both is the same. That's how philosophy and social rules are of a different level. Oh, I am a philosopher, so your offense is still an offense because it is on a social level. I don't know whether this example is suitable here. There was a great saint, and he has realized that he is not the body and he is not the mind. But the mind behaves like a mind. Body behaves like a body. So he went in front of a sweet shop. I don't know, I don't have words to express the state of mind of that monk. So his mind says, that comes out loudly from his mouth, oh, you want to eat sweet? He's telling to his mind, but you can't take sweet because you don't have money. No, you don't have money, you cannot take sweets. No, you cannot take sweet. If you take, it's an offense. His body and mind still extended the hand and took the sweet. The shopkeeper doesn't know who he is. The shopkeeper became angry, got down from the shop and gave a tight slap. In normal action, if you do, sorry, I shouldn't. There is no sense of doership there. So he started telling to the shopkeeper, beat him. I told him he should not take. Beat him more. Beat. Again he is telling, I told you not to take. Like a third person. That's why I don't have words to express the state of that monk. Because we see as a person stealing. And what the shopkeeper did was correct. But he is totally free from his body and his mind. And he is taking the offense and punishment on the same level. No offender has ever appreciated the punishment. So this cannot be a case of offense. Then the gentleman came to know, hey, you don't beat him. You know who he is. To him also this Swami said, no, tell him to beat him more. Totally separate from the body and mind. Anyway. So, until we realize these three, we will continue to exist as an individual. Till you realize that you are that Satchidananda, happiness, knowledge and bliss, or rather existence, knowledge and bliss is within you and that is your nature. You don't need to find it outside. Till then, you will have a desire. If I go there, I will be happy. If I get this, I will be happy. If I eat this, I will be happy. So for the happiness, you go. And as I told, the five senses of knowledge is seeing this world, and in this CPU desires are created. Then the 5 senses of action takes the objects which the senses feel that it will be happy by accepting or getting that. This is a whole game going on in our life. Your 5 senses experience the world. In your mind, desires are produced. You saw something, so you want to get it. If you don't see, there is no chance of having that desire. You smell something, so you want to have it. You smell something which is not good, so you hate it or you avoid it. But your 5 senses of knowledge brings the knowledge to you, and that knowledge is processed within your mind. Along with the backdrop, samskaras are there, which will supply the similar experiences of your past life or present life. With that, your senses of action goes and procures these objects which are going to make you happy. And this continues endlessly. Renunciation comes later. This understanding comes first. We must be aware about this whole thing which is going on. Then only question comes that I want to stop it. But alas, most of the people don't even know that they are already caught up in a whole game. Who can tell? Only to the scripture and the Guru. There is no third source of knowledge. Only these two. Scripture which is written, and Guru means a person who has gone through it or understands or experiences it. These are the only 2 sources. That's why there is importance of Guru. That's why importance of scriptures. Scriptures don't need to tell you how to cook. Scripture doesn't need to have a recipes. Why? Because that is in the realm of senses. Scriptural truths are those which are not in realm of the senses. What the senses can gather from this world, that is not necessary to be in the scriptures. Scripture says something about the whole game plan which is going on. So, not realizing that I am the self, but this tendency of existence to be continuously or constantly being existent, constantly being happy, and constantly being aware of the truth. These 3 desires, or are the 3 tendencies which are actually there to realize the truth, but somehow it has gone out. There is another shloka which says this, that God is very funny, made everybody extrovert. So all of us are in the same boat, running behind the object of senses. All of us. Some less, some more. Not a big difference. Some with little knowledge have stopped running around. Some with lesser or little more ignorance are still running. But eventually we are on the same boat. Till you be free from. I remember one devotee came, brought some sweets. So the Swami says, what it is? No, I am so happy. I got it. So it's very good. But why this expression of eating sweets or feeding sweets or giving sweets? No, because I am happy, so I want everybody to be happy because I got promotion. So he said, no, it's not a question of that. What's your age? I am 52 years old. Last 52 years you are eating sweets. Do you think by eating one more sweet you will be contented fully? Mm-hmm. Look at this ignorance of ours. Now also if you give me sweet, I feel very, very nice sweet. All of us, even me. We are in the same boat. Last so many years, decades after decades, I am eating sweets. Still the sweets make me happy. Internally speaking, still I am ignorant of the self, thinking that this piece of sweet will make me happy. Why don't you meditate and say that you are Sachidananda and all the happiness comes from there? No. Swami Vivekananda wrote in one stotra, Vahati Vipulavata Purva Sanskara Rupam. Like tornado, like strong wind is blowing, which is called Purva Samskara. You are helpless. The samskaras are so powerful. You are helpless, you have to do it. And many layers of samskaras are there. And to be free from that, almost impossible. But not that it is completely impossible. Sometimes people will say, why to worry about it? That is another materialistic level of Maya. Why so much tapasya and all this? Nothing to do. Eat, enjoy, go hell, who cares? This is it's called blinding darkness. It is written in our scriptures. Andham tama pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Ishavasya Upanishad. That person enters into darkness, one who is a worshipper of ignorance. Then, if you are a worshipper of knowledge, you go into yet blinding darkness. And the darkness is so thick. Our great poet Kalidas is writing that it was so dark, even a pin cannot be pricked into it. It is so solid darkness. In Sanskrit or in Bengali sometimes, it called Shuchi Bhedya Andhakara. Darkness which you can prick with a nail, prick with a pin. So idea is this, that many layers of Maya, only once you know that yes, scripture says is true, my guru says is true, I am unable to pass through that. But holding on to that, which you call mantra or inspiration or sannyasa or whichever you want to say it, holding on to that with the grace of Guru and Ishta, I will be able to cross over this darkness. Spiritual life is difficult, not easy. But in short, spiritual life is only this much. Only this much. That these three natural tendencies which are in me are because I am that. I am always existent. I cannot die. I am a form of knowledge. It is not something me, physical or psychophysical. That I, which is me, is of the form of knowledge and bliss. Means what? Irrespective of any other object, I can be happy. Small example I give, then we close. Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana says in one place, a child which is 2 to 3 months old, keep a CCTV camera, everybody is fast asleep in house, that fellow gets up in the night and just happy. A 3 months or 6 months old child is unhappy if there is no physical ailment, is unhappy only twice. Either it is hungry or it has soiled the place. Otherwise, its natural existence is happiness. A child doesn't cry. There is no reason for child to cry unless these two are there. its natural state is happiness. No child is ever unhappy. Our unhappiness starts as we grow. Our desires become this much, but I achieve only this much. So remaining difference is a misery of our life. Two ways of doing that: either put so much effort that my desires and my effort will fulfill. Either no need to put so much effort, reduce the desire, you will be equally happy. Anyway, these are all about karma. It is a karma yoga of 3rd chapter. We'll take it again. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.